Hello, we've got a special guest today.
Hi.
So this is my husband, and my husband is not a reader by any stretch of the imagination. How many books have you read this year?
Not even one, not even a full book yet.
Not even a full book. We have vastly different interests, and even if you were a reader, he definitely won't read the sort of books that I read.
Smut.
There are some smut books on the list,
oh,
but so yeah, I thought what would be a really good idea for my non-reader husband to do was I would pull up a load of, we've got 10 books that either I've read or are on my TBR, and
that sounds like a disease.
We're off to a great start. And I've blocked the titles out, so what he's got to do is think of the title and like the plot of the book based on what little bit of the cover he can see. So I'll put in, this is what he's gonna see, this is like how he'll see them, but throughout the rest of the video I will put up the standard covers for you to see, but he will see them blocked out. This could go downhill very, very fast.
I'm good at guessing.
So yeah, so just to clarify, it's the book title and the plot, and then I will reveal what the actual book title and plot is.
Okay, I'm going to do me like Ash Ketchum on Pokemon and turn my hat around like ready to go.
Serious business.
Ah, my eyebrow. Okay.
Right, so book number one.
Book number one. Oh, give us a clue, mate. What? I mean, Bloody Coffee Cat.
Bloody Coffee Cat, is that your title?
Yes, Bloody Coffee Cat.
And what do you think the book's about?
Someone murders cats and turns them into coffee. I mean, that's blood coming out of a coffee cup, right?
I mean, you're veering into extreme horror territory there.
Bloody Coffee Cat.
Right, I can reveal that it's in fact called The Little Coffee Shop of Terrors.
I had coffee, there was coffee in there.
Well, yeah.
And the terror is in my story.
But it's definitely not about cats being offed. Adele is used to being down on her luck. She's just been kicked out of her latest musical theatre gig, and now it looks like the bright lights of Broadway are behind her for good. So when the opportunity comes up to take over a Brooklyn coffee shop, it feels like that at last things are going her way. The only issue is the coffee shop comes with strings attached in the form of one very grumpy but roasting hot waiter. Ooh, it's got some spice. I've not actually read this one yet, it's on my TBR.
Is the roasting hot waiter the cat? Book 2, second one. Oh, is that a cat with wings? Catwin Cottage.
Your titles are not good.
I reckon if you saw a book called Catwin Cottage, would you want to read that? Because that sounds sick.
Actually, I probably would, but
exactly.
the titles still aren't great.
What's it really called?
I should point out, he's a freelance writer for a living.
Catwin Cottage.
It's actually called The Spell Shop.
Mine's better.
Anyway, what do you think the book's about?
Based off of The Spell Shop.
Oh no, we've done that wrong now. We've already messed up and run
well, I reckon little Snow White biatch that just lives in a cottage with cats that got wings and then like she just does stuff.
We did seriously mess that up. You were supposed to do it based off your title, but anyway, Kiela has always had trouble dealing with people. Thankfully, as a librarian at the Great Library of right, we are not even going there with how that's pronounced. Alyceum?
Why not?
She and her assistant Kaz, a magically sentient spider plant, have spent the last decade sequestered amongst the Empire's most precious spellbooks, preserving their magic for the city's elite. There's more to it, but we'll not go on.
A magically sentient spider plant?
Yeah, so this is cozy fantasy.
Next. Okay. Maiden Monster Martyr. That's what it says at the top.
Yeah, that's just the tagline. I can already tell there's things crossing his mind that he definitely cannot say.
Honestly, right, based off that picture, I'd say Red Riding Hood's fag break.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah. Cigarette Americans.
Oh, like it needs any elaboration, but what do you think the book's about?
She's just had a shocker.
She's had a shocker!
An absolute shocker. Wolves, grandma's dead, she needs a cig. At a castle. Hogwarts, apparently.
I will just give a little bit of background to this. So this is another one that I haven't read. It is on my TBR, and it featured in a video that I filmed not long ago. He made the thumbnail for that video with this book on it.
I didn't pay that much attention.
So when I say that he's got no interest in books, like, you will quite happily listen to me talk about books, but nothing goes in. It's called One Dark Window.
It's not as good as my title.
Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. And then there's like some more stuff. She meets a mysterious highwayman. So on and so forth.
What? Okay.
So that's fantasy, if you'd not gathered.
Okay. Skeleton.
It's a skull, but yeah.
Oh, is a skull not part of a skeleton?
Yeah, but there's no full skeleton on there.
It's out of shop. And then it's got like gold.
Oh god.
Money bones.
That's a terrible
Money
name.
bones. That's a good.
And what do you think Money Bones is about?
Rich skeletons. Rich skeletons.
I mean, there probably is some sort of fantasy book out there about that. Anyway, you're well off the mark. It's actually called Phantasma, and this is another one that you've edited.
Money bones is better. Who names these books?
Well, you tell Kaylee Smith that when she's writing the next one.
Kaylee Smith, do better employ me.
She's doing just fine by herself.
She can do just fine.
Anyway,
she can do just better.
When Ophelia and her sister discovers their mother brutally murdered, there's no time to grieve. Ophelia has inherited both her powerful death-driven magic and enormous debt on their home, but Phantasma is a cursed manor with twisting corridors and lavish ballrooms, blah 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 blah. Basically, she meets Blackwell in this game and things go down. I haven't read it. It's definitely on my TBR. It's a spice novel. It's a dark romantasy.
So someone's gonna get some bone. I mean, house is all like higgledy-piggledy. Muddle mansion. Muddle mansion.
But would that be the Muddle Mansion, seeing as there's 3 boxes?
Magical Muddle Mansion.
Now you are well off.
That sounds like a good book.
Magical Muddle Mansion. That's really hard to say. But what's it about, do you think?
It's, you know, like Luigi's Mansion. It's like that.
Actually.
Magical Muddle. Oh shit. That. Anyway, it's gonna be sick.
It's actually called We Used to Live Here. This is a book I've read. As a young queer couple who flips houses, Charlie and Eve can't believe the killer deal they've just gotten on an old house, blah blah blah. Basically a family turn up at the door and they're like, can we come in, we used to live here, and then terrible things go down. Right, next one. Oh, this one. This one's on my TBR and it's a recent edition, and I feel like when you find out what this is actually about.
Okay, let me see.
There's really not much to go off, and I will say if you come anywhere close to what this is actually about.
There's trees and they're at the top, which is like a ceiling, so we're going to call it treeling.
Treeling? Good God, what do you think treeling's about?
I have no godly clue. Look at that cover. You tell me that you know what's going to go on based on that cover.
Oh, I can assure you, you do not know what's going on in this book. So what do you think it's about? I
really have no... I can't even base a guess based on that book cover. What's it? What?
So it's called Credence.
Never guess. Never guess that.
And I'm sure most people will know what this is about. Tiernan doesn't care about anything anymore. The only child of a film producer and his starlet wife, she's grown up in wealth and privilege, but not love or guidance. Basically, like, her parents pass away and she's shipped off to her step-uncle's cabin with her step-uncles and step-cousins.
Sounds a bit fiddly this, doesn't it?
The step, keep in mind.
I've seen videos that have got step in title and I know what happens in
You're
them.
really not far off. It's a reverse, It's a reverse harem. Yeah. they all have a go with her. And she's down for it.
So where does the Creedence bit come from? Maybe they listen to a Creedence Clearwater Revival while they're banging away.
In a cabin. Well, yeah, it's pure smoke.
Now I know.
It's pure smoke.
Now I know what it is. I want to change it to Cabin Capers.
Cabin capers.
Cabin Capers sounds sick. That sounds like a follow-up to Magical Muddle Mansion.
Two very different novels.
I don't know. Honestly, right, she picks some books that have got terrible covers. Who left that bloody light on? Is what I'll call it.
I wondered what you were about, but there is a light on. What do you think it's about?
Someone not worrying about cost of living.
It's called The September House.
That light's going to be on even longer in September. It gets darker early.
Basically, the house
Someone's
is haunted.
well off.
So Margaret and her husband buy this house, again, for a really good price. I mean, like, why is that never a red flag to anyone? And the house is haunted, so every September, like, stuff goes down in the house. But the husband wants out of there, and Margaret's like, no, I've spent money, I'm staying.
We're spending more money with bleeding light on. Next!
I've also read this one. There's a house theme going on here, isn't there? Come on, countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Post-it Palace. I have no idea.
Right, what do you think it's about?
A kid that's been trapped by a murderer, knowing you. I'm just going based off what sort of books she reads now. A kid that's been trapped by a murderer, and the kid has to draw like pictures of where he's been trapped before the murderer comes.
I really should caveat this by saying that I've been reading a lot of extreme horror novels, so this is what is basing the things off. It's definitely not that wild, but you're kinda in the right vicinity, but not extreme like that. So Mallory takes a job as like not a babysitter, like an au pair type thing. And she's getting on along great with Teddy, the little boy, until he starts drawing these really like freaky pictures. There's really freaky pictures in the book, and she's like, what is wrong with Teddy? Because he's just drawing like really sinister pictures. And then there's a really big twist that we're not going to reveal.
I prefer that title, What Is Wrong with Teddy, as the title of the book.
The twist, I'll tell you the twist, but we can't include it in here.
Teddy? Look how many words there are on that one.
Best get imaginative then, aren't you?
Give me a clue. What's the first word? And don't say the.
It's the. You want the second word?
Yeah.
7. Imagination. The 7
dwarves. The 7 dwarves of. The 7 dwarves wear green dresses.
The 7 dwarves wear green. It fits, but you're wrong.
Oh, am I? Am I wrong?
And what do you think the 7 dwarves wear green dresses is about?
Because we're in a modern world, dwarves can wear what they want to wear.
What is it about?
I don't know, just cross-dressing dwarves or something.
This is so not PC.
Cross-dressing dwarves. Like, dwarves can wear the one.
This has descended into absolute chaos. Right, it's called The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
What's she got 7 for?
Because she likes to marry a lot of men. Aging and reclusive Hollywood movie icon Evelyn Hugo is ready to tell the truth. So basically, she reveals like her life story to one journalist. She's never done it before, and she's selected this journalist for a reason. And she goes through like each marriage and what it brought, but there is a reason why she selected this journalist. But again, we'll not reveal it because that might do spoilers for people. I'll tell you the twist. It's a really good book. It is really, really good.
Okay, next.
This is your last one, so you best get creative for this one. Oh god. I mean, it's quite obvious what the book's going to be about.
I mean, it's like some sort of motel, and it says vacancy. Oh, no vacancy, but there's a vacancy. But it looks sort of run down. Mingle Motel.
No!
Mingle Motel!
What is it about?
I imagine it's like a motel, you know, like that one on Breaking Bad with Wendy in it.
Well, where like all the drug users and prostitutes go. I don't even know what we can say.
You make it sound like... yeah, that's what I imagine anyway. And then like, there's a wizard. I don't know.
Why is there a wizard?
Because wizards need motels too.
It's not a fantasy novel. Anyway.
I'd like to know that.
It is about a motel. It's called The Sundown Motel.
Oh, how close.
So this is a book that I have read. It's a mystery horror book. The secrets lurking in a rundown roadside motel ensnare a young woman just as they did her aunt 35 years before. So basically it's in New York. Not very many people go there, and some that do are like hiding lots of things. It's a really good book, actually.
Considering what you've been reading, and this like...
Oh, I read this years ago. This was way before
this horror stuff and this like weird incesty stuff, why would that not be called The Sun Goes Down Hotel?
I read this years and years ago, like... And Credence is not incest because they're not really... Although, actually... I say that and I did just read a book that had incest in it. It was Gone to See the Riverman before anyone questions what my dark and sick tastes were, and I did not enjoy it, but...
What were they in Credence? Like, what relation?
Step uncle and like his sons, like step cousins.
It's still cousins clapping cheeks, isn't it? Is what it is.
It's honestly, it's really big on book talk, but like the author
Of course it is, they're all freaks as well.
The author's written lots of books, like reverse harem books. So it's always like one girl and a sausage fest.
Imagine clean up after that. Right, are we done here?
Cabin, don't really matter.
They need a motel.
Yeah.
A bigger motel.
Well, that was just as horrific as I thought it would be. Now you know why he's not in very many videos.
We are on our other vlog channel.
Here we go.
Wonderworks Vlogs, here's a plug, here's a link, there's stuff all over.
There is actually a link to Wonderworks, like in the description. I always put a link in there. We do actually have a joint vlogging channel. It's predominantly like travel vlogs, isn't it?
It is at the minute, yeah.
At the minute, but I think that's like sort of the direction we're heading in.
Anyway, that was fun. That's enough reading.
You've learnt a lot about smut books, I feel, today. On that note, we are going, and we'll see you guys next time.